Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of the poem Snake by D.H. Lawrence. D.H. Lawrence is one of the most important prominent figures in the 20th century English literature. He is a novelist, story writer, poet, and painter. This poem Snake he wrote when he was living in Taormina, which is in Sicily, and he has written the poem in a free verse style, and actually he's written it in a very simple manner that you can just read it like a story and understand the contents. In this, he describes a conflict which was happening in his mind after he sees a snake in his water trough. The snake is a golden brown snake, and according to the social education which he had received, he understood it is poisonous and therefore it has to be killed. But he felt that the snake is a guest. It is thirsty, and that is why it has come to drink water. And since it has come to his house to drink water, he feels it will not harm him. Later, when after drinking the water, the snake was withdrawing into his black hole, the poet suddenly, out of his mind, threw a log of wood on him. Now, this act is because of the social education that he had received all through the years. Anyway, he regretted his act immediately for being so mean to the snake, which did not try to harm him, and he decides that next time when the snake comes to his house, he will definitely give it its due honor. The poem begins with the poet coming to the water trough to fetch water on a hot day. He is in his pyjamas and he has come there to drink water to beat the heat. A dark carob tree shaded the place and the strange smell surrounded it. There, in the water trough, he finds a golden brown snake which has come before him, and it was drinking water to quench its thirst. Now he had to wait for the snake to drink the water and go. While waiting, he finds that the snake must have come out from a crack in the wall. He notices that the snake is a golden brown snake and has a soft belly, straight gums, and a slack long body. While the snake is sipping the water, he waits for his turn to come because he came after the snake, therefore, he is a second comer. The snake sensed his presence and lifted its head and looked inexplicitly at him in the manner similar to the cattle. It flickered its two-forked tongue, pondered for a moment, stooped, and went back to drink water from the trough. This suggested to the poet that the snake is very thirsty. The poet felt that the snake has come out of the burning earth as it was a very hot day of July in Sicily. He also mentions that Mount Etna, a natural volcano on the Sicilian island of Italy, is smoking. Now, the conflict begins in the poet's mind. His social education says that the golden snakes are poisonous and therefore he shall kill it. His mind urges him to kill it if he is man enough. But the poet's natural human instincts makes him think and makes him to feel happy that the snake has come to his water trough to drink water. Therefore, he feels honored on the visit of the snake. Now, the snake drinks the water and starts to depart after drinking the water back to the hole from where it had come. Suddenly, the poet picked up a pitcher and threw this log of wood at the water trough. Immediately, the snake went into the hole at a lightning speed. The poet was very sure that the log did not hurt the snake, but he also regretted his cruel act. He concludes the poem by saying that he shall apologize for his petty behavior and will be very happy to have the snake as his guest the next time. The poem Snake teaches us that we should always go with our natural human instincts and honor and respect all living beings. Now we'll see what he says in the poem. It's a very simple poem. As you read it, you'll understand it because it's like a story. A snake came to my water trough on a hot, hot day, and I, in pyjamas for the heat, to drink there. In the deep, strange scented shade of the great dark carob tree, I came down the steps with my pitcher, and must stand and wait, for there he was at the trough before me. He reached down from a fissure in the earth wall in the gloom and trailed his yellow brown slackness soft bellied down over the edge of the stone trough and rested his throat upon the stone bottom and where the water had dripped from the tap in a small clearness. He sipped with a straight mouth, softly drank through his straight gums into his slack long body silently. Someone was before me at my water trough, and I, like a second comer, waiting. He lifted his head from his drinking as cattle do, and looked at me vaguely as drinking cattle do, and flickered his two-forked tongue from his lips and mused a moment, and stooped and drank a little more, being earth brown, earth golden from the burning bowels of the earth on the day of silicon July with Etna smoking. The voice of my education said to me, he must be killed. For in Sicily, the black snakes are innocent, the gold are venomous. And voices in me said, if you were a man, you would take a stick and break him now and finish him off. But must I confess how I liked him? How glad I was he had come like a guest in quiet to drink at my water trough and depart peaceful, pacified, and thankless into the burning bowels of this earth. Was it cowardice that I dared not kill him? Was it perversity that I longed to talk to him? Was it humility to feel so honored? I felt so honored. And yet, those voices, if you were not afraid, you would kill him. And truly, I was afraid. I was most afraid, but even so, honored still more that he should seek my hospitality from out the dark door of the secret earth. He drank enough and lifted his head dreamily as one who has drunken and flickered his tongue like a forked knight on the air so black, seeming to lick his lips, and looked around like a god unseeing into the air and slowly turned his head and slowly, very slowly, as if thrice a dream, proceeded to draw his slow length curving round and climb again the broken bank of my wall face. As he put his head into that dreadful hole, and as he slowly drew up, snake easing his shoulders and entered farther, a sort of horror, a sort of protest against his withdrawing into that horrid black hole, deliberately going into the blackness and slowly drawing himself after, overcame me now his back was turned. I looked round, I put down my pitcher, I picked up a clumsy log and threw it at the water trough with a clatter. I think it did not hit him, but suddenly that part of him that was left behind convulsed in an undignified haste, wreathed like lightning, and was gone into the black hole, the earth-lipped fissure in the wall front, at which, in the intense still noon, I stared with fascination. And immediately I regretted it. I thought, how paltry, how vulgar, what a mean act. I despised myself and the voices of my accursed human education. And I thought of the albatross, and I wished he would come back, my snake. For he seemed to me again like a king in exile, uncrowned in the underworld, now due to be crowned again. And so I missed my chance with one of the lords of life, and I have something to expiate a pettiness. And he ends a poem by writing Terramina, because he wrote this poem when he was there. This place is in Sicily. It's a beautiful poem by D.H. Lawrence. And if you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends. And if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe. Thank you.